guys, that's how I ended up becoming vegan, was because I was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease and couldn't walk for 4 months, changed my life. I couldn't work out, like lost all my personal training clients, and then and then was on like a bunch of really hardcore medicine, and being vegan, I got off all of it. And actually last night was the first night that I did not take my prednisone. And I'm a little stiff, but I'm like really excited because I'm not that bad. And I'm like, I think I'm going to start like weaning off my last piece of medicine. So it's really, really cool.
Oh, good. No, food does do miracles, that's for sure.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
With veganism on the rise, Generation Vegan interviews the up-and-coming hottest vegans, and in this podcast we teach you the practical side of having a plant-based diet. Today we're interviewing Luckie Lifestyle, a male vegan model who is a young Tony Robbins in the making. His mindset on life is extremely attractive, and I know you will catch the vibes just by listening to this show. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you, everyone, for coming back on the show. Today, I am blessed and so lucky to have Luckie Lifestyle, which now I'm realizing right now I don't know what your real name is.
It's a secret. You'll have to watch my next video to know.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I love secrets. So, but he's an international model. He's a traveler, a blogger, a speaker, and of course, a vegan. So thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before we dive into the questions, I just want you to give your view on veganism and how you got there, and just, you know, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my first introduction that I got was about a couple months into modeling. Honestly, my first experience with it was because I had the stereotype in mind that vegan people could stay smaller and fitter, you know, for a long period of time. And for modeling, I needed that, especially being an ex-bodybuilder. So I was pretty big. Went from 240 pounds down to 180 when I started modeling, and all that being vegan. And I just loved the lifestyle because as a bodybuilder, you eat low carbs diet, and with vegan, it's just high carbs and a bunch of potatoes and rice and oatmeal. So I just freaked out on that aspect, and it was really good. But then I got introduced to more the cruelty aspect going on in the industry. And that kind of changed my perspective as well, because I thought to myself, it's not normal that people have to suffer for me to eat, and there has to be another way for that to happen. And through doing researches, Forks Over Knife, Engine 49, I think, and a bunch of the China study and stuff, I just learned more and kept on growing with it.
So I want to talk about your bodybuilding comment, because I'm the same way. When I was a personal trainer, you know, I was telling all my clients, you know, low carb, high protein.
Yeah.
And then as a vegan, my cousin went vegan and she was asking me for advice. I'm like, look, she's trying to lose fat. I'm trying to build muscle, so I'm not even giving out advice anymore nutrition wise, because veganism is completely the opposite. But you lose all this weight and you're still healthy and you're eating all these carbs. And
Yeah.
so how did you feel about that? Like when you realized that there was a different way and you still looked really good?
It just felt great, because especially doing for like I did for 4 years of low carb, your body gets damaged from that, and doing high protein and stuff. Like honestly, I was just, especially doing it, eating meat. You were just eating so much of it, and now I can't even look at meat. I just pass in the aisle in the grocery and I just like walk by and I look the other way. It's just so disgusting. But no, definitely, like, especially it's higher in nutrients as well, right? Because the bodybuilding typical diet, you know, you get your chicken, your rice, and your broccoli for like 6 meals a day, but now more veggies, more starches, definitely more micronutrients. And that's the aspect that I really like, because my energy went up, drinking less coffee. So yeah.
You know what? Yeah, you're making me feel not so crazy right now, because I feel like, well, that's actually one of there were 3 main reasons I think I got my disease, but I think the main one was bodybuilding. I did my show, and then 3 months later I was diagnosed. I also had a surgery 6 months prior to my show, and a cosmetic surgery. And then just the fact that I rebounded so hard after my show, I ate like 2 boxes of cereal and a cheesecake and like a bunch of chicken wings. And you're right. Like, what's so great about being vegan is when you're eating healthy, non-vegan, you go around the outside of the grocery store. But when you're eating healthy as a vegan, you just go straight to the veggies. Then you go straight to the carbs, and you're done. Like, that's it. Beans, carbs, veggies. You're done.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's so much cheaper than people think. I just bought like 40 pounds of potatoes for like $6. we have in our kitchen a 50-pound of bag of oatmeal.
Oh my god.
$30. You got oatmeal for like a year in there.
So can you just tell everyone where you're at and where you traveled and kind of how you eat healthy while traveling?
Yeah, definitely. Well, like I said, I have a video coming out telling my whole story, but just to put it shortly, I decided to change my life past January. I left home one way, did Alberta, then lived in a van like you did all of BC, Vancouver Island, and after that, I booked a contract in Milan in Italy for modeling. So went there for like 2 months and a half, Switzerland, Germany, came back here, hitchhiked around. And my best tip for everybody that's traveling, especially the way I did, was hitchhiking with my backpack. So you can't have like 20 pounds of potatoes with you. You can have a big bag of oatmeal. But a trick I had was bring a bag of dry oats, just a small bag of dry oats, because you can just cook that anywhere. Grocery stores, go for fruits and veggies, right? You don't need preparation. You don't need to you just eat them right away. And especially if you go to the grocery store and you tell them like, you have like bananas with brown spot on them, right? They usually put them in the back and throw them away, and then they'll sell to you on a discount. So you get to eat healthy foods for cheap on the road.
I know, I love that. I actually am making a video soon too for people traveling, because I never go to grocery stores anymore or fast food. You just go, gas stations. I always go to grocery stores.
Yeah.
And instead of looking for gas stations, there's grocery stores right next to the gas station. You have so many more options, and it's healthy and it's cheaper. And
you just buy like 20 bananas and eat all of them.
I love that. So how many languages can you speak? This is not in the notes, but
Oh God. Honestly, I did not learn a lot of it. I speak French and English. That's pretty much. I learned a couple of words in Italian and German, but just to say hello, that's it. Honestly, the time that I was there, I was just focusing on, living in the moment and trying to learn as much as I can about the culture and everything. Language, I know that I can learn on my own after, so I didn't want to lose time doing that when I was there. I just want to enjoy the scenery, enjoy the new people that I was meeting, because that's a big plus for me, is just meeting new people every time.
For the people that love animals but still can't make that disconnect, because for me, even before I was vegan, I would never kill bugs, snakes, turtles, like anything, but I would eat a steak. So how do you help disconnect people from that disconnection that they've built into us?
Oh God, you're right into what I like right now. Okay, so what it is you got to break what your beliefs are, right? The only reason you're eating meat is because you believe that it's good for you. I'll go deep into this, but the reason why people make changes in their life is because of two emotions, pain and pleasure, right? So people that are eating meat are according more pleasure to eating it and pain to not eating it. There's only one way to change this, is to break the pattern, right? So what you can do, just talk to some vegan people, watch some videos, just so that there could be a little click in your head. And once you have that, then go strengthen whatever you just realized. So watch some more videos, read some more, talk to some people, and eventually it'll get stronger and stronger. And that's the only way that you'll see possible for you to eat. For example, for us, that's why there's some hardcore vegans out there. It's because our belief system is so strong, according to that we can't imagine eating meat. But for some of us that were before, and that kind of know the mindset that we have, we can look back and be like, okay, it's because I thought it was good for me. But breaking that, it took a while. It didn't happen like that. So I encourage people to go read. I send them, every time somebody has a question, I send them links to videos, articles, so that they can go check out and learn on their own. Because especially with what I'm doing, if somebody doesn't want to change, they won't change. It's really hard to do, right? If someone that's obese is going to wait to have a heart attack to be like, oh, I got to eat healthy and I got to work out, right? But the beauty of the human brain is that you can create that heart attack without actually happening. So don't wait to be extremely sick to be like, oh shit, I got to eat healthy foods. I got to eat my fruits and my veggies and my starches. decide right now. That's the, like I said, beauty of the human brain is we can decide to make a difference and take action. So decide to be like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna try it for a week, 2 weeks, whatever time period you want, but at least a week so you can see a difference. And guys, I'm telling you, my parents did it. It's funny to talk about it, but you guys are gonna fart. You're gonna go to the bathroom more often because there is a lot of fiber in that lifestyle, right? But it's good. Your body needs to get used to it. But once you get used to it, it stabilizes and you don't waste as much time at the bathroom. I got that argument once that somebody's like, I spend too much time at the bathroom. I was like, yeah, your body's gonna get used to it. It's gonna be all good. He's like, no, it's a waste of time. I'm like, you're cutting like a couple of years off your life for bathroom time at the beginning?
Well, and a lot of times people link obesity with being unhealthy, which obviously is the case. Yeah. But for me, I was a skinny fat type of fat. And I think that's even more dangerous because I had to get a disease in order, because I thought, oh, I'm healthy. I have abs. I have shoulders. Like,
yeah.
And it's like abs don't equal health. Abs equal leanness.
Yeah.
And leanness is caused by ABCD. But yeah, I mean, even if you're not fat, like obese, does not mean you're healthy, and that doesn't mean you don't need to make a change. Like,
no, exactly. That's the I would say, like, I was skinny fat too, growing up. So I know the struggle. You're wearing a shirt and you're like, oh, I'm all good, and you take it off. You're like, oh no, it's not the same. But it goes back to public education, right? The marketing they're doing right now with the meat industry, dairy, egg industry, is that, that it's healthy, and especially with the fitness models on magazines that did, you competed as well. It's seen as being healthy, but we all know that those people on the cover of magazines that are competing, they don't stay like that for a long period of time because you feel like shit, right? Everybody gains weight after the show. Depending how controlled you are after, you can gain like 15 pounds, or you can do like me and gain 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I gained 50 pounds in a month after my show, right? Like, there's nothing healthy about competing, honestly, because your low levels of body fat, your hormones is not good. But people need to realize that it's health and fitness. Health comes first. Fitness, I just see it as the outside appearance. Health is what's inside.
Right.
You can fix the outside all you want, but if the inside is crappy, you won't go far. You can't build relationships. You won't live long. So it all starts from within.
Yeah. That's so awesome. I feel like I'm kind of like listening to Tony Robbins right now. Freaking.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment for sure.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with his close circle of people. I've actually met his camera director and his old business partner, and it has been so crazy just to listen to them talk about the way he is in real life. I mean, he is really like that, but just as he preaches, he has his own problems and he deals with his own things, and it's really cool. It makes me feel closer to him, not like he's some idol.
Yeah, no, well, actually, there's a guy that lives close to here that he kind of heard of my videos and everything that I was doing. And he contacted me, and he decided he would help me out with some Tony Robbins, the CDs. He came here, gave me some stuff, and when he said he's going to help me train. And yeah, he meets him a couple times a year.
That's very cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, wow, everything is coming together. It's awesome.
So this is not on the list, but now that you're mentioning that, in one of your Instagram posts, you said something about The Secret. You hashtag The Secret. Did you watch that movie, or is that?
I've watched it. Okay, the last time I watched it, I didn't really watch it. We were more talking, but I watched it once in my life. We can put it that way. Right. And it did change my life. Right. That's the reason that I made this whole trip. That's the reason why Luckie exists. That's the reason that I'm here. That I love inspiring people. That I discover what my passion is. It's because from that little change, I decided to oh, I'm going to attract a certain amount of money. And then from that, it went crazy. Like I said, it's going to be in my video that I'm posting tomorrow, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was diagnosed with my autoimmune disease, I was instructed to take chemotherapy for the rest of my life. And even when I changed my diet and I could walk into the doctor's office instead of being wheelchaired or assisted, my doctor still was like, no, take your medicine, take your medicine. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And I actually took myself off. And so my question to you is just, how do you feel about the lack of nutrition advice in the medical industry and how they, go about that? I feel like it's more, molding now because people are starting to like become aware of what's going on. But how do you feel about that?
I feel that doctors are trained to prescribe medicine, not food. They basically what you learn in school is the problems and what pill is going to solve that problem, right? They won't tell you what food's going to solve that problem. But I know that in the United States, there's a couple centers that opened up, right? It said Forks Over Knife, I think, where they would recommend food to help you get off your medicine.
Right. That's awesome.
And I'm hoping that it's going to go more towards that in the future, because whatever you find in a pill, it's just a concentrated form of something of a food, right?
Right.
Or sometimes chemical stuff that they created. But basically, if you can fix all the problems with food, which I think that's what we're going for, and that it's changing slowly, it's going to be even better world.
Right. I love that. So besides your leanness and just the obvious vegan effects, what are the other effects that you've noticed from becoming vegan?
Just the skin cleared out pretty much from when I was in high school, which was a big difference. Energy levels and just being fuller faster, which is a plus because I'm always hungry. So I'll talk about an experiment that me and my roommate are doing in the next couple of months. But we just eating a lot of food full of fiber definitely helped me stay full, get healthier, more energy. And definitely I saw when I was doing powerlifting, saw my lifts go up in the gym.
Hell yeah. Do you do Snapchat?
No Snapchat. Got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the blog. I used to have Twitter, but it's just too much time on there.
Actually, Snapchat, I thought, because everyone looks at me and they're like, oh, she's just lucky, it's just genetic, like she's just born like that. But getting Snapchat has really helped people see into my life. Hey, Miss Cadence. It just helps them see into my life and what I do on a daily basis. And they see that I go for runs, and even when I'm in a lot of pain, like I'll find a way to get outside and, you know. So with my disconnect, like it definitely was really hard for me to get over the fact that what I'm eating right now is an animal, right? And so when I go out to dinner, not so much anymore because I'm turning more into an ethical vegan, which, like you said, most people start out for health, but then they move into the ethical side of it. And so when you're out and about, do you ever cave? Like, are there any times in your life where you revert, not because you're a bad person or a bad vegan, but just to kind of be on regular people's level, you know?
To be honest, yeah, I have had some revert when I was traveling, because sometimes I would go hitchhiking for like a week or two. And the concept why I was hitchhiking is because I had no money. So even though you leave and you have a certain amount of money at first, sometimes you don't have any. So there was sometimes I didn't eat for like 2-3 days. So definitely when you meet someone and they offer you food, you're hungry to the point that you kind of have to. If you guys haven't been hungry for 2-3 days, like you'll understand. But eventually, like I never buy meat when I go grocery shopping. It was only the only fallbacks that I've had is when I haven't eaten 2-3 days because I was just starving.
Right, and I love that because a lot of people think when you're vegan, you're perfect, and then you make a mistake, and then they're like, you're no longer vegan. It's like, no, that's not the case. Like, we're not perfect, and it actually, I think, humanizes us when we make comments like that and show people that we do sometimes mess up. So I was saying what I like about you is that a lot of guys, especially if they're good looking, they think there's so many stereotypes like put onto them of like, no, if you take pictures like you're girly, or just that stigmatism of like, no, I'm a man, I don't take selfies. But in reality, nobody looks at your Instagram and is like, what a puss, you know what I mean? We think, oh, that's a male model. We don't think. And I like that about you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's definitely something I had to go through because a lot of people are judgmental. We definitely got to be comfortable with yourself. And that's one thing I wasn't when I started. I was really shy in high school, extremely shy guy. Bodybuilding definitely helped. And then when I fell into modeling, it's like I don't really have a choice. And especially with like in the industry, there's a lot of girls and a lot of gay people. I have nothing wrong. A lot of gay friends, and but definitely like you get some habits and you just talk a certain way, you act a certain way, and no, I just felt comfortable with it, and I was just like, yeah, that's who I am, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. People think that I'm just naturally good on camera or I like being on camera. It's like, no, I just want that lifestyle that it offers me, and I'm willing to work through the fear, and I want to get more comfortable with myself as I get older. Like that's one of my passions, is just to be more myself every day. And so seeing men that are into that, and not only that, but men that are into that, but not just taking like gym shots of their abs, like it's a good balance. So good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, definitely. When I started modeling, I was like, if ever something happens to me, I kind of want to have the brain to back it up.
Yeah.
So I didn't at first, so that's why I worked on all of this and I created this so that I can do something else.
Was there a time in your life where you kind of realized you didn't have a brain? Like someone, you sound like the Scarecrow off freaking, I don't have a brain.
Well, to be honest, when I was a bodybuilder, I was really superficial. I was kind of a douchebag, I'll say it. But when I started traveling, I kind of discovered who I really was, because I was putting on a face for everybody around me. And when I discovered what I truly liked and how it really was, I was like, well, I'm actually a good guy. I just got to put it out there more. And I just kept doing that. And then amazing stuff kept happening. Law of attraction. And I never looked back. So you just got to be comfortable with yourself, be true, be real, and you'll surround yourself with the right people.
That's so awesome. We're like on the exact same path, except I think I'm 3 years older than you. No, 4 for sure. I'm 26. But yeah, I actually, and I'll admit this, it took me doing shrooms in order for me to go from materialistic to who I am now. And I call it my BS life and my AS life. Before shrooms, bullshit, right? And my AS life, like after shrooms, because it's just, I'm totally different now. I used to be really materialistic and vain and like what I look like. But as you relax and kind of settle into yourself, it's really comfortable. And that's what I want to get people to the most. And my goal is to get people older than me to be more comfortable, because I think like my aunts and my mom's generation, they got gypped. I feel like they did, because they lived in the beginning part of their life where it was all about, the nuclear family and working at a job for 40 years. And now they're at the back end of their life, and it's like all about entrepreneurialism and, and doing your own thing. And so it's like they're in this weird, purgatory. And I want to help that group settle into themselves, find their passion.
Yeah.
And then spread it on through their kids and just their communities. So
because that's what we're lacking nowadays, is people don't know what they like. I actually had a call. Is it Christopher, your last interview you had?
I do believe so. That I posted, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. It was Valentino Vegan.
Okay, no. Well, Christopher.
You know him?
Yeah, I had a call with him this morning.
Weird.
Yeah, on Instagram, and we talked, and yeah, we FaceTime this morning.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the vegan community is getting closer.
Wow. Okay, so how did y'all find each other?
Oh, Instagram, through your site.
Weird. That is so awesome. Cool.
Bringing people together.
I love that. Oh, you just made my day. Thank you. So at the beginning, well, one, I want to talk about soy, but besides soy, at the beginning when you were transitioning, or I don't know if you just went hardcore right at the beginning, but what was the hardest thing to give up, and how did you get past that?
The hardest thing was definitely like ice cream, I think. I'm a sugar guy. I love my sugar. But yeah, ice cream was definitely the hardest part, and I definitely went cold turkey on it. Say it that way. It's a bad expression to use right now. I just thought about it. I was like, oh, that's not a good one. But you guys know what I mean, right?
That's so funny.
I didn't mean no harm. But I'm kind of an intense guy, so when I want to make a change, I decide to take an action now, or else I kind of like, I'll be like, oh, I can do it later, or like I'll wait. So I decided to make the change drastically, and yeah, did that, and then went raw vegan for a while, and then went back. But no, definitely the hardest thing was ice cream and cookies.
Do you have a brand of ice cream that you love now?
I didn't even try vegan ice cream. I make my own with frozen bananas.
Right, that is so good, and it doesn't really taste like banana.
No, exactly.
I mean, it does, but
you put date sauce on there, maple syrup. It's really good.
Yeah, I actually just bought my first vegan ice cream. I'm doing a lot of taste test videos with non-vegans in my hometown, and so I bought the So Delicious cookie dough ice cream. I'm not really into ice cream, but it was good. I mean, they have some work to do, but I couldn't imagine being a vegan in the 70s and the 80s. Like, all they had to eat was tofu and vegetables. It's like we have all this stuff now. Like,
yeah. Well, my main staples are oatmeal and potatoes, and I'd have those every single day.
I think my main staples right now are basmati rice and tortillas, like, because I make a lot of burritos or quesadillas or tacos.
Okay.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
Yeah, I'm very into Mexican food. Okay, so if you post vegan stuff on your social media, whether it be an animal rights video or just like a recipe, and people comment underneath like something ignorant like bacon or something rude, how do you handle that? Like, how do you respond to that?
I don't actually. I let since over the years I was able to build a strong social media. I have vegan activists on my page, and I let them take care of it.
That's so smart.
To be honest, I posted a whey protein article, and one girl commented, and I just replied, the more information you have, the clearer your decision will be. And then I just let the other comments went on, and I didn't have to do anything. I just like people that there's vegan activists for that reason, right? They'll answer and tell those people information, and it's not that I don't want to do that. It's just that I have a lot of project in mind, and especially going on and on and on Facebook, I find it's a loss of time. If the person doesn't want to change, just wants to argue, that's the only reason they wrote. It's because they want to feel like they're right and what they're doing is not wrong. They want to feel comfortable in their decision. So I honestly, the others that take care of it, and they just wrote it to have attention and to feel better about what they're eating.
Okay, so mental note: get more vegan activists on my Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I deal with it a lot, and I struggle not to respond, but a lot of the times I feel like I can change them in one or two comments, and then after like 20 minutes of heated, intense arguing, and usually ends up going to personal messages, and I'm like, and I realize I can't change them over Facebook. Like,
I try to meet people one-on-one, and they come to me when they have problems, and I talk to them for an hour, and sometimes at the end, they have the strategy to how to do it. I contact them like 2 days after, I do a follow-up a week after, and they didn't make the change. So I find that through writing, it's a little bit harder too.
Right, and it's a letdown. But I didn't get vegan activists before I was vegan, and now I understand, because when you see something so atrocious happening and everyone else is like asleep in this dream world, it's very frustrating.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm at right now. Like, I'm just trying to show people that, in the Bible it says that God put animals on this earth for humans to reign over, but I highly doubt, and that's if you believe in the Bible or God or whatever, I highly doubt God would look at a slaughterhouse and be like, that's what I was talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, humankind destroyed what God put on earth. There are certain passages in the Bible where God doesn't promote eating meat. If you just write Christian vegan on Google, there's a bunch of websites that will come up. I looked at some of them, but definitely the humankind destroyed. They twisted the words of the Bible, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up, because I have a lot of Christians in my life that always bring that up. It's like, yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he didn't say to mass produce them, and like, I could understand if humans riding horses in the heyday, like that. I get that, yeah, but it's not the way it is
Now
anymore.
we have cars. We don't even have to eat meat because we have so much
Right.
manufacturing process to like get all the potatoes and rice to everyone and grains that we don't even need that. Right?
Right.
Everything works out if that nature go with it.
So let's talk about SeaWorld. And I don't know if you have kids. I'm assuming not.
No. No.
Okay. So when you have kids, how do you plan on raising them vegan? What if they come home crying and they're like, oh, I'm different? And what if their school wants to take them to SeaWorld?
Well, when I saw the question, I didn't really look into it. Like, I think I saw like one article quickly on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm not too aware of the situation, but I can imagine everything with zoo and how they're being treated and putting in cages and stuff. But definitely when I have kids, obviously I would want them to be vegan because I made it a strong belief for myself. So it's in my belief system and it's a strong value that I have. So I wouldn't want to, tell people this and my own family is not doing it.
Yeah.
But definitely in a good 15 years for kids. Just going to add that. But yeah, no, definitely would want to, obviously you want to teach your kids your values and your beliefs that you have in life and everything you've experienced.
You know what? I forget that you're international and y'all don't even have SeaWorld. So I need to omit that question for international people.
It's all good.
When you date people, do you prefer that they're vegan or do you mind that they're not vegan, or is it about a mindset?
Oh, okay. I'm still on. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been in the dating scene for a good 2 years, to be honest. And I was not a vegan when I stopped dating. So I would prefer it if she would be, because it would be so much easier for groceries, for eating out. And when you're watching movies, you don't want to eat like stuff with butter in it and that kind of stuff. But definitely, yeah, I would better enjoy it if she was vegan, for sure. It would make it easier, cooking so much easier.
I know. I just couldn't imagine dating a non-vegan at this point. It would be so expensive because you're buying all the vegetables and that plus all the meat and all the stuff that they want, and it's just too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want somebody telling me that carbs make them fat. I'm like, look at me, it doesn't.
Right. Yeah. Then you have to go. I haven't really been in the dating scene either, but the girl that I very first interviewed, she had a really good point. Her boyfriend isn't vegan, and they've been together for I think like a year or something. And in my generation, that's a long time. So
it is.
Yeah. So and I was like, well, that doesn't bother you? And she said, well, no, because of me being in his life, I expose veganism to him. And when we have dinner, he always cooks my way and cooks for me. And so he sees that it's possible. And for us to like be just in our own little group, we're not really spreading it. I thought that was a really good idea, but I still would want someone to be on my level as far as like being able to change and evolve, because I'm just all about evolving. Like I just want to get better every single day.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I actually made a video about this. You gotta keep growing, you gotta keep evolving. I don't know if you saw it, but you gotta keep growing, you gotta keep evolving, right? Because we're like a plant. And as soon as we have gained knowledge, we discover more about ourselves. It's like putting water on that seed and growing and growing. So for example, your seed, and you keep watering it, you keep reading, you keep learning from people around you, documentaries, and just self-developing, then you're gonna grow. And eventually you'll take out and be like a beautiful flower. But if you don't water it, what's going to happen? It's going to die. It's the same thing for your life. If you don't water yourself, you die spiritually before dying physically. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to live the next 40, 50 years of their life being dead inside because they're not learning nothing new.
Right. You're so lucky to have even acknowledged that at 22. Like I'm pretty sure at 22 I was doing illegal things, I'm sure. Doing things that I shouldn't talk about.
I try to stay away from trouble.
That's good. So let's see, we already talked about cheese. No, we didn't talk about cheese. What are your favorite brands of cheese? Like if you're going to give anyone advice on what cheese to buy.
I never bought any.
No, that's good. I love that.
I try to the only processed stuff that I'll buy is like 80% dark chocolate. eating my sweet. But beside that, no, I never tried. I saw a couple at the grocery store. It looks interesting, but even there, I'm not one to make like a pizza or something with cheese in it.
Cool. So if you were to suggest one personal development book, it could be vegan or just, spiritually, mentally, whatever, one book and one documentary, what would you have people watch?
Well, I'd have to go with The Secret for the documentary. Yeah. Definitely, because that's what changed my life. And then the other one that helped me understand so much about the human brain and how we can make change in our life is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins.
Actually, Lisa Nichols, the Black woman in The Secret.
Yeah.
She just came out with. Do you know who Lewis Howes is? School of Greatness.
No. Okay,
you'll love him. He's all up in that whole bubble of people, and he interviewed her. She's writing a book. It just came out. I just bought it on Audible, and she actually was talking about even when she was recording The Secret, she wasn't even her full self yet because she was like overweight and she was dealing with all this body issues because of her past, and she realized that she put on the weight to basically not be attracted to guys because she was waiting for her husband to come out of prison and blah blah blah. But I just thought it was really cool because even when you create something like The Secret, you still have the balls to like come back and be like, you know what? Now I'm 100%. Like I thought I was 100% then, but I wasn't, and I am now. Just admit that you're still evolving. It's so freaking.
Yeah, that's what the generation of our parents needs to realize is that there's always room for change. Like talking to Christopher this morning, he's 54, and he went back to school to learn some more. And when I talk to people around me, they're just like, well, I've done my stuff and I'm good now. I don't need to change or learn more. I'm like, well, yeah, you do. You never stop. Until you're in a box, it doesn't end.
Right. I actually just sent that interview to you, and then you can watch all of his stuff. He's awesome. He's got great stuff.
Cool, for sure. Well, I send my, because I'm also a part of the Arbonne business, which is a vegan certified company.
Okay.
So I have my friend Sammy McLeod, which makes videos. She made I think top 10 stereotypes about protein and vegans. Really funny video. I'll send it to you after. She made that with her sister. There's also a Vegan Hustle TV from UK and Guild Free TV that I've found yesterday. Also the basic, Durian Rider, Philly Banana Girl.
You said Vegan Hustle. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, Vegan Hustle TV. Because he's a fitness guy as well, and being all vegan, really cool guy. I got to talk to him just through Instagram a little bit. But yeah, definitely try to talk as much people as I can.
Right. Are your roommates vegan or no?
Yep. Yeah, since he was born.
Wow, that's awesome. That's supporting. Okay, so are you going to go to any vegan events? Are you planning on going to the Thai Fruit Festival or anything like that?
I don't even know where I'm going to live in 2 months, so I have no idea where I'll be, honestly. All I know is I'm going to Vegas in April for a conference, and then after that, might hitchhike to LA, and then after that, see what happens.
What conference?
For Arbonne.
Oh, okay. So conferences are my guilty pleasure. Like I'm a freak about conferences now. One of my 2016 goals is to go to a conference every year or do a reading vacation where I like go in solitude for like 48 hours and just read. So
you got to do a week of just reading.
I know, and there's so many books out there. I try to do a lot of audiobooks because I have 2 dogs, so I end up running a lot with them. But if I hear of any good events, I'll let you know. I'm really trying to go to the Freely the Banana. I think it's her event, the Thai Fruit Festival.
Yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be about $2,000, so it's kind of a little bit of a stretch for me. But so is everything else has been a stretch for me. So I don't see why I couldn't do it. But it would be my first vegan.
Yeah. Oh, if you wanted, you'll find a way to make the money. No doubt.
Right. Yeah. Even when I was traveling, I started with $5,000, and then I went to Vegas and I fell. I was totally sober and I fell and hit my tailbone and pretty much broke my tailbone. And I blew through like $1,500 in a week. instead of like $1,500 for a month, I was spending my budget was like $40 a day or something like that.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
a lot.
yeah, it was bad. Yeah. So that pretty much cut out the New York section of my trip. But like you said, like you make stuff happen. What I ended up doing was I went to Arizona and I started working at a restaurant called Carrabba's, and then I like just met this old lady at a dog park, and I was crying on the phone. My mom like, I'm gonna have to go home, and she's like, hey, I was eavesdropping, and like you can come stay at my house. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. So I stayed at her house for like 4 months and worked my ass off at Chipotle and Carrabba's, made more money, and then just kept going.
Yeah, that's a great story. That's definitely that's something everybody has to do.
I know, even if you're old, like just do it.
Yeah, oh no, for sure. It's especially like, the right people will fall into your life,
Right.
and everything happens for a reason, and the universe has your back. That's an important rule.
Right. Okay, so we just have a few more questions. The first one is, what is your go-to meal? And if a mid-America family who's really busy and doesn't have a lot of time asks you for a recipe, what kind of recipe are you going to give them?
Oh God. So wait, I forgot the first question. I just gotta plug my laptop because it's dying.
And we finally get it working, and then your laptop dies.
Yeah. I was full before we started.
Mine too.
All right. So sorry, what was the first question?
Just what's your go-to meal, like on a daily basis?
Oh, on a daily basis, I definitely enjoy like a good some whole oats. Cook some whole oats with some dry raisins, some frozen blueberries and strawberries at the bottom. You pour the hot oatmeal on it, and then like a scoop of like Arbonne protein on it and chocolate, and you mix it all up with some cinnamon.
Yeah. You better unfreeze. 3, 2, 1. Yay!
We're back in action. But yeah, did it cut before or after?
No, you said your meal, so now we're gonna talk about what you would suggest to people.
Flick of the wrist. Am I too white to do this? It doesn't work.
I think I'm whiter than you, so it's okay.
My favorite meal. Oh God. It's like a quinoa dip for nachos. So you have you have quinoa, you have black beans, bell peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, tomatoes, and then some lime juice with some cumin, some salt, and a little bit of olive oil.
Yum.
And it makes for a really good nacho dip. Like I would eat the whole thing for a meal.
And you blend it up, or you just mix it together?
Yeah, you cook your quinoa, and then you mix the rest together, and you put the hot quinoa in there. And it's like a hot nacho dip.
Weird. Okay, I'm definitely gonna try that.
I'll send you the link after, but it's really good.
Oh my gosh, please. Okay, so what are 2 goals you have for yourself in 2016?
2016, God, I want to be financially free with my project so I can focus more time on Lucky Lifestyle, because my main goal in life is I just want to help people, as many people live the life that they want to live. The people that are willing to change, I want to help those people get there through knowledge, strategies, and kind of like what Tony Robbins does, but with my own little twist of adventure in it.
Right.
And I definitely want to, get for this year, get my parents, help my parents get out of their debt.
Very cool.
It's definitely they're both money related, but for the right reasons.
Right. And where do your parents live?
And when you start getting comfortable, it cuts. But yeah, my parents live in Gatineau, Quebec, because I live in Quebec.
Oh, okay. All right. And the last but not least, go ahead and tell everyone where they can reach you at, where they can watch your life, and just watch you evolve.
All right. So, guys, go on YouTube, Lucky Lifestyle. You guys are going to have some more training for the mind, for the body, some hitchhiking videos, some vlogs coming up. On Instagram at Lucky Lifestyle, on Facebook /Lucky Lifestyle as well. I'll be keeping you guys updated with what's happening in my life, some insights, some vegan recipes, and just everyday life. And like I said, me and my roommate are making a project. We're gonna do a month of strength training and minimum and some cardio, and doing it all vegan, no supplements, just to show people that you can get stronger, stay lean, and be healthy eating a plant-based.
Fuck.
And we're back.
Okay, so you're going to do a body revolution, which is awesome. I'm on the same path. I'm going to build my body back up as a vegan, which I haven't done yet.
But yeah, it's definitely a challenge, especially with the knowledge that we had about bodybuilding before.
Right.
Especially food-wise. All we know is like high protein and low carb, and we're just like, well, if I do the opposite, is it going to work as well? But I've done it for the past year. I saw the results. I saw the strength go up, and I just want to share that with people around me, because they're like, well, if you don't eat your steak, you're not going to gain muscle. You're not going to be stronger. And I want to show them that I can be stronger than them because I eat my potatoes and my oatmeal.
And so how long do you plan on doing this, or what's your goal?
So we're going to test our lifts on next Monday, and our 3 main. We will get through it.
You're almost there.
So we'll test our lift on Monday, and then we'll do a month of strength training. And we already do plant-based eating. We're just going to do a little bit more, so we can build on that and recover more. But definitely, yeah, just show people that you can get strong eating carbs and high nutrients food.
Okay, well, I want to have you back on the show after you do that experiment.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to.
Okay, cool, because I'm going to do it as well, but I don't have a partner. That's just an excuse. But, I mean, I want to kind of go through that with you. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to be filming the whole thing. But, yeah, for sure, we'll just stay in contact personally, because I'm not going to make an event for this, because I want to film the whole month and then build like a little documentary with it.
Oh, yeah.
Just so people can watch it after and be like, hey, if you do this, it's going to help you.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you for watching, and woo! Well, that was one of the most technically inclined interviews I have ever had, and I thank you so much for listening and bearing through it with us. If you have any questions about becoming vegan, or you're wanting to be on the podcast, please contact me at any social media, DARKSUNSH9. I cannot wait to meet you.